Hey guys, what's going on? Bob here. I know I just did a video earlier today, but as I said in that video, that was a stack of movies that I'd had basically for a week that I hadn't had a chance to do a video for. And it is Tuesday, so I went out today, the Bull Moose, as I pretty much do every other Tuesday, and went through the VHS and DVDs and Blu-rays to see what they had. Didn't find much in the ways of DVD or Blu-rays there. I did pick up one Blu-ray from Bull Moose that was inexpensive. Didn't see anything that came out this week that I really wanted. Last week was World War Z, which I will watch it eventually. Have no real interest in owning, at least not for the full price. And this week was I actually almost caved and bought the Michael Myers Halloween 35 year set, but I didn't because it was a little expensive at Bull Moose, and I think I'm going to look around for it a little bit more. But what I did pick up at Bull Moose, I did buy this one Blu-ray because it was a nice cheap price, and I did not own this movie, and that is Interview with the Vampire. As you can tell from the videos, I've been buying a bunch of horror movies, a lot of older movies especially, but I did not own this movie at all, and this is a great vampire movie. Again, it's a Tom Cruise movie, and people don't like Tom Cruise because of the Scientology thing. As far as like his personal life, I don't really care, but he's a great actor, and he can carry any action movie. In this, I think he's great. I did not read these books, so I don't know. If he really plays a good Lestat or not, I don't know, because I don't know what the character's like in the book. I know it's got to be better than the dude who played him in Queen of the Damned, which I actually don't mind too much, but from what I understand, is just horrible. Doesn't make any sense. But anyway, by now you've probably seen Interview with the Vampire, and it was $3 on clearance because they had so many copies on Blu-ray. Bull Moose does that every once in a while, so I had to pick that up. The other disc that I bought, and this was actually, I picked this up at Walmart. I just got home from Walmart, had to buy some new sheets for the bed we just picked up today, and what I found in the $5 bin there, a movie I thought I already had but did not, and that is Clue. Absolutely love this movie. I think it is fantastic. It's been a favorite of mine since childhood. I was so glad to find it for cheap, and I saw it right on the top of the stack, and I looked in my list, and I said, nope, I guess I don't have this after all. Had to pick this up. I was just talking about it with the girlfriend the other day, and she's never seen it, so I had to pick that up, and we'll probably end up watching this soon. It comes with the ultraviolet copy, too, which is pretty neat. I don't normally do anything with the ultraviolets, but I will, if anybody wants it, first come, first serve, let me know, and you can have that ultraviolet code. And going into the stack of VHS, you can kind of see them right here. They go up pretty good. I got, I think, 13 or 14 movies here, so I'll kind of bust through them pretty quickly since you probably already wasted a bunch of time watching my last video. But let's see what I got here. So the first title that I got, kids movie, because you guys know I love kids movies. Did not own this. Don't see it very often at all, period. And that is Rockadoodle. This movie came out right a few years before I was working at the movie theater, but my parents saw this movie a million times as a kid in the theater. Loved it. Not a Disney movie, but people seem to think it's a Disney movie because it's a cartoon, so they always assume it's a Disney movie, I guess. But this is I think MGM, probably Metro Goldwyn. Well, yeah, it's Samuel Goldwyn film, so pre-MGM. But this is a great kids movie. It's a great fun movie, and it's got a good soundtrack too because it's all about basically an Elvis rooster. So that's a great movie. Next thing I got, and actually looking at these really quick, I think there's only one movie in this stack that I've actually even seen, maybe two. The rest of them were all blind buys. Actually, yeah, two or three. The rest of them were all blind buys because they're ridiculous. So the first one of that is Blood Fist. And this is Don the Dragon Wilson and Billy Blanks. So I thought this would be just one of those quick, action movies I watch, someday when I have nothing better to do. The girlfriend's not around because she doesn't really want to watch this, and I just watch some people kick the shit out of each other, right? And every guy likes that, I guess. So, Blood Fist. And the next one that I picked up, actually I haven't seen this movie before, but I know plenty about it, and actually. Right here on the front, you can actually see the Twin Towers back here. And what made me think of this was, my buddy David, Cinema Sickness, on September 11th, did a picture of, a bunch of movie posters and video cassette boxes that were pre-9/11 that had the Twin Towers still on them. And this one does, obviously, because this movie is pretty old. It's an early Michael J. Fox movie. Like I said, never actually seen this movie, but I wanted to, so I figured I saw it there, and I was like, oh, I'll definitely grab that. 30 cents. 30 cents is well worth it for something like that. I love Michael J. Fox, so. Next thing I got, and I bought this sheerly for the kitsch factor, because this is going to be horrible. This is Andrew Dice Clay and Terry Hatcher in Brain Smasher: A Love Story. Never seen this movie, never heard of it, but if you've ever seen Andrew Dice Clay's stand-up, you know that he probably is not going to pull off a PG-13 action movie very well, and that's what this is. Andrew Dice Clay is a stand-up comedian who I don't think is very funny, but he was huge in the 80s. And Terry Hatcher, who was huge in the 90s because she was on Lois and Clark, the Adventures of Superman, which is a show that I actually really liked. And then what is she on now? Desperate Housewives? I don't know. I don't watch that crap, so I wouldn't know about that, but I think that's what it is. Desperate Housewives, or is that what it is? Who cares? Anyway, but I picked this up just because it's got to be ridiculous, so had to grab that, and I will definitely give that a watch soon. Again, a whole bunch of movies that I'd never heard of here, but I love Robert Patrick, so I had to pick up Zero Tolerance. Didn't even read the description, just saw that there was some shit getting blown up here. Looks, Robert Patrick holding a gun menacingly, and I said, you know what, I don't even care what this is about. The cover is cool, because cool guys don't look at explosions, and, so I grabbed that, and I'll check this out at some point in time here. All I saw was that he plays an FBI agent, and I was like, all right, that sounds good. I love Robert Patrick, so that was worth it. Here's a movie I actually have seen it many times, love it, don't own this, and I don't think I've ever owned this, so had to grab this for cheap, and that is Critters. Again, another horror movie. Love this movie. Haven't seen it in years. There's at least one sequel that I know of that was nowhere near as good as this one. But I mean, hell, just look at the image on that box. It's pretty badass. Not to mention that this box, as near as I can tell, and I tried to open it up, and the tape looks like it's in good shape. This doesn't look like it's really ever been opened. If it's been opened, then it was played very sparingly, so to speak. So I was really happy to get that for 30 cents. That's awesome. And then I just snagged this plastic thing off of another one of the movies there. They don't really care if you do that. So I just want to keep the box in good shape. So I grabbed that and put that on there. Again, another movie I've never seen, never heard of, and couldn't know anything about it. It almost looks like a classy porn, but that is Heartbreak High. The tagline says, "Winning isn't everything a guy needs to score." So it sounds like it's a sex comedy, but a super low budget, if I had to guess, because the cover and then the rear, they just look like what you'd see on the front or of a porn. I mean, it's just got to be all, kind of just shitty sex movie kind of thing. But it is only rated R, so. But even in all honesty, even the production company, Platinum Productions, sounds like a porno company. So who knows what this movie's going to be like? But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to grab it. I'm just going to give it a shot, and we'll see. It's probably crap, but it's worth it. A movie that I have heard of but I've never seen before, Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. Grab that. We'll give that a watch this Halloween season. Just really hadn't seen Demon Knight before. The only Tales of the Crypt movie that I had that I owned was Bordello of Blood, and I'm not a huge fan of that movie. So I figured I'd give Demon Knight a shot because like I said, 30 cents. What the heck? This is an old rental copy. Obviously, don't know what company it was from because somebody peeled off the sticker, but hopefully it plays good. The tape looks like it's in pretty good shape. Of course, those sons of bitches didn't Be Kind Rewind. Okay, this is another one that I picked up, have never seen before, Moving Target. I've been, honestly, when I'm going through the tapes there, I'm just kind of looking for, the fonts on the end of these. You can tell, that it's going to be an old movie. You can tell it's going to be an action movie or whatever by the stupid titles and things. I picked this one up. It is a pre-pack item. Basically, it's a screener tape, and the funny thing about this was it's another Linda Blair movie, and this is now the third one in a row on my trip to Bull Moose that I just happened to grab. It just happens to have Linda Blair in it. So I still obviously have not watched the other one that I was talking about earlier from my last video, but again, that first one that I watched was pretty good for what it was. Like I said, like that sexploitation movie, and hopefully this one is pretty good too. You can see on the back, this is kind of funny, and this caught my eye. How much this cost when it came out, $79.95, which is just exponentially more than I would have ever paid for a VHS tape at any point in my life, and it almost makes me glad that I'm now able to get all these for 30 cents, and I wasn't quite old enough to have to worry about buying them in the 80s when they still were relevant. The next movie I got, of course, I have seen this a million times. Love this movie, Creep Show. Stephen King wrote this, and it's the meteor shit movie, and that's the reason I bought this. Honestly, it's just fantastic, and I'm not going to go on about Creep Show because if you haven't seen that by now, then I don't know what rock you've been living under. This movie's probably 30 years old by now, and it's like a staple of horror. So definitely check that out if you haven't. Going into a couple other movies, I think the rest of these I've never heard of. But Lady Avenger is the next one, and like I said in my last video, Norma had the horrible foresight to go and scribble her name all over everything. At least this one is on tape, and I could peel it off and whatever, and hopefully have a better box. But Norma apparently likes a lot of junk, but so do I apparently because I keep buying all the movies that she has, and I just grabbed this because honestly, you don't see a lot of women action stars, and it's probably horrible. Not because it's a woman action star, it's just looks generic. Again, picked up the box, just shit exploding down there, and you've got Lady Avenger apparently beating somebody with a baseball bat or about to, and then also looks like she's getting maybe attacked there. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I would actually those two scenes I think that's the same scene, which is funny because if you've got an hour and a half long movie and the whole thing is done in one scene, that's kind of weird. But anyway, again, just grab that for the hell of it. This is a movie that I've never heard of, but it's a full moon movie, and I'm sure it's super popular, but it's just not one that I've ever seen, and that is Subspecies. And they actually had copies of Subspecies 1 and 3, and I almost just grabbed that one too, but I was like, well, what's the point? Because if I don't have the second one also, there's not really a point to having the third one. I don't know how hard it is to come up with these movies, probably not super hard, but figured it was, at the very least, this was worth grabbing. And I'll give it a shot. The box art is awesome, and the creature art looks awesome in there. I don't know anybody in this movie. I've never heard of anybody in this movie. I've never heard of the director of this movie. Of course, it doesn't mean anything. I'm not like some of these full moon titles. I know that are pretty out there and stuff. So I don't know if this is one of them. Actually, I mean, the title does sound vaguely familiar, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll give that a shot soon. Halloween time, horror movies, all that jazz. And here's another one of Norma's films. This is Undercover, which basically sounds like a ripoff of 21 Jump Street, 21 Jump Street, the series, obviously, which would have been on around the same time as this. Basically, a couple of cops go back to school to, I don't know if it's a drug bust. Yep, drug bust. So, this is it's just an R-rated violent movie version of 21 Jump Street, I guess. So, figure what the hell, give that a shot. I wish Norma hadn't scrawled her name all over this shit once again, but I'll just get a new case and, make it look a little bit nicer. Oh, somebody's in this that I actually know. How about that? Jennifer Jason Leigh. Yeah, okay, I didn't even notice that. That's cool. This one I grabbed, again, you can see, I'm going to just show you in the back, stuff exploding. That's the kind of mood I was in today, apparently. And this is the Jungle Ground, and it has Rowdy Roddy Piper in it, which is the only reason I even bought this, because that, I was a big wrestling fan in the, when I was growing up in the 80s, in the 90s, and I loved Roddy Piper, and I loved They Live. I mean, They Live is one of the best movies ever. It's fantastic, and so this is probably nowhere near as good as They Live, but, if I'm the kind of person who thinks that They Live is one of the best movies ever, then this very well could be just like that, so we'll give that a shot soon, and hopefully Rowdy Piper delivers in that one. And coming to the last two really quick, I've never seen this movie, but I've heard of it. John Cusack, I'm a big fan, and that is The Grifters. Basically, it's a movie about some con artists. I'd never seen this. This is a Martin Scorsese production of a Stephen Frears thriller. Well, I don't know who Stephen Frears is without looking that up, but I love John Cusack. Angelica Houston is awesome. Annette Bening is what it is. I love American Beauty, but that's about it. But I figured I'd check this out mostly just because of John Cusack, and I absolutely love John Cusack. So we'll give that a shot soon, and hopefully it's pretty good. And then the last one I picked up. Movie I've never heard of, but it says in the 21st century there will be a new endangered species, man, and it's a it's a sci-fi movie. According to this, the best science fiction thriller since Alien, and that's Fangoria that said that, so maybe it is, but that is Hardware, and this is actually a screener copy, so that was another reason I picked this up, because I do like to collect the screener copies. Hopefully this is pretty good. There was somebody in it that I recognized. Man, I don't know who that is on the back, and I can't think of it because it doesn't say his name. I don't know if you guys know who that is right there on the back, if you can kind of tell. Looks like somebody from TV, but I'm having a hard time thinking of it. And anyway, I don't know anything about this movie, but I don't mind some horror. I don't mind sci-fi if it leans towards the horror, which this looks like it will. And I'm going to check into this movie a little bit more and see what that's all about. And it's cool again that it's a screener copy because I'm a big fan of collecting the screener copies. So you can see on here, it's just it doesn't even have the real printed label. It's just a sticker label. So anyway, those are all the movies that I picked up today, guys. I'm sorry that I wasted another 20 minutes of your life here looking at the more movies that I bought, but I guess that's why you're subscribed in the first place. So, or for that matter, if you're not, you should not forget to do that. Anyway, guys, that's the movies I picked up today. So there'll be more. Probably at the end of the week or next week. I'm taking a little road trip this weekend to pick up some new stuff for the house, and maybe I'll find something along the way. Alright guys, I'll see you later.